Thanks to our reporter Jax, as he is reporting. Jax is reporting that the trade with the Green Bay Packers and the New York Jets has finally come to fruition, and Aaron Rodgers is now a Jet.
Yeah,
do
we know
Finally.
the details of it?
Yes, Jimmy. So the Jets will be getting Aaron Rodgers, pick number 15 of this year, and a 2023 fifth-round pick, which is 170, right? So the Packers, on the other hand, get pick 13, so they go up 2 spots, a second-round pick, a sixth-round pick, and a conditional 2024 second-round pick that could become a first if Rodgers plays 65% of the snaps.
Okay.
So you got the Packers went up 2 spots, got a second-round pick, a sixth-round pick of this year, and a potential first-round pick for next year.
If he plays 60%.
If he plays 65%. And then the Jets got Rodgers. They go 2 to 15, and they got a fifth-round pick. So it's pretty even on both sides. I thought the Packers were going to have to get more out of it. What are your thoughts?
I think they acquiesced. I think they want to make this move. They got the draft coming up Thursday. I think Rodgers is moving on. Love's going to be our guy. Here's a couple of other picks that we're going to get. Let's go ahead and utilize. And we either thought that they might do this before the draft or before June 1st. So right now, this sounds like the Packers said, okay, enough's enough. Let's move on. Let's take the Band-Aid off. Let's go heal this. Let's go make this trade and never look back and move on from there. I just find it so ironic. Some of the all-time great quarterbacks the Green Bay Packers have gone on to the Jets as their second stop. And from that standpoint, it does not surprise me. It's before the draft.
So let's recap this one more time. Jets get Aaron Rodgers. They get the 15th pick and the fifth-round pick, which will be number 170 in this year's draft. And the Packers get number 13. They get the second-round pick, which is 42, the sixth-round pick, which is 207, and a conditional 2024 second-round pick, which becomes a first if Aaron Rodgers plays 65% of the plays. So there you have it. That, according to Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport, both with the announcement in the last 5 minutes.
I think that this is not only New York City is going to blow up. Not only are the Knicks right now on the edge of moving to the next round in the playoffs, but now the Jets have Aaron Rodgers, a legit QB who can take them into the playoffs this coming football season.
Well, we talked about this last year, guys. The only thing they were missing was basically a solid quarterback. They need a great guy. They just need a solid quarterback. And White, I thought, did a good job of Yeoman's job of coming in. He's now gone to Miami. Zach Wilson was an absolute mess on and off the field.
Yeah, I agree.
Joe Flacco tried to do as best as he could. But now they say with their defense and some of the weapons they have offensively, that they've got a guy that's a first ballot Hall of Famer. If they can get 2 or 3 years out of him and he goes off in the sunlight, now you give yourself a chance.
Yep.
So now I'll be very curious to see what the Jets do with their remaining picks throughout the draft. And then again, free agency still abounds. And you could also package some of the picks that you've gotten from Green Bay to maybe go find somebody else that's going to add
now that's a good
to that
point.
offense.
That's a good point. They might pack up a couple of picks that they still have and see what they can do. I think that they're going to be – I wish Hard Knocks was doing the Jets because I think they're going to be one of the most interesting teams this coming fall.
So get ready to see Jets a lot on television. Yeah. You got the Bills twice. They got Kansas City. They got Dallas. They got Philly this year. So you're going to see those games as they'll be the Monday night game. They'll be the Thursday night game or the Sunday night game, I should say. And now that we can flex too, which will be nice. But there you have it, Jets fans. Let's see if you don't screw this up. I will tell you, though, the way that they are positioning Aaron Rodgers and listening to the Jet fans that are in the media, which is a lot of them. It's Jet fans and Patriots fans, right? Because it's ESPN and the Northeast and things of that sort. But they're acting like he's going to be bigger than Joe Namath, and I just don't see it. I think that comparison would take place if they win the Super Bowl. Yeah, because they haven't won the Super Bowl since '69 with Joe Willie. So I don't see that taking place unless he gets them to the Super Bowl, and he probably would have to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I also think you got to remember the persona of one Joe Willie Namath was huge. He's just his persona.
Yes.
And then he wins the Super Bowl, And they never really did anything after that. They contended a little bit, and he's a guy that threw for a lot of yards. But Joe Willie, one of my idols growing up, he won that Super Bowl. But I think it's his persona is no quarterback will ever get bigger than that initial persona from 65 to 72 before he got traded. Now, if Aaron can come in and play nice with the media and
that's
win
the
a
thing.
Super Bowl,
I know. That's the part I want to see. I want to see how he fits in there in New York.
Sure.
I mean, he's been in the league for 20 years, right?
Yeah.
So he can handle it. But you coming from Green Bay, where you may have 10 people, I'd add another couple zeros on that.
That's it.
I mean, he's going to get bombarded, and there are those folks there in New York that are going to go after him.
Sure. And I think with Joe Namath, Joe was so accommodating, he was friendly. Good old Joe, as they would say, and he participated. He was smart. He went along with the game, and he dealt with it. He always fessed up. But you're right, Rock. I tell you what, this guy pushes back, or they're struggling, they'll just lambaste him
3 minutes
if he shows any of that surliness or not cooperating. But I think that this is that piece they needed. If they're going to win the AFC East and overtake the Bills, or maybe Miami, then they need him if they have a shot at doing that. But heads up Buffalo, heads up Miami.
Yep.
I think the other contenders. I don't know if the Patriots are going to be.
I don't think so.
They might be 800 team, but I just think it's going to be the
500
Bills,
team,
Bills, Miami, and then the Jets. Maybe not so much that order, but to win that championship.
I think the thing that Rock alluded to about the way the media works in New York, and I lived it for a while, they are bloodthirsty. They are like sharks in the water looking for anything to attack. And the thing that will cure all that is winning. If he wins, he's going to get a pretty much not a free ride, but that is going to be a much smoother transition than if they
2 minutes.
His numbers came down this past year, okay? And it had a bad year, even though they're coming off a playoff.
A lot
year,
of rookie
right?
receivers, a lot of inexperienced guys.
Even if he's no longer an elite quarterback, he's still a very good player at that position.
Sure.
But he needs to go in there right away, and they have to be in playoff contention right away
from the
AFC
get-go.
East.
I'd agree.
I don't see you're ever going to get another, Aaron Rodgers MVP level. I mean, he's 39,
38.
So I just think that it's just going to be tough.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can, because he's been declining his production, his performance. I mean, it just has not been that good lately. I mean, even Manuch, you can critique him. I mean, he's overthrowing guys, he's underthrowing guys. I mean, and I know a lot of that is the young receivers, but you're a quarterback as good as he is, you should be able to overcome some of that.
It was interesting that he really fought that the mistake
1 minute
those young men had on the field versus working with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I really felt that Aaron, look, you got to play at the hand you're dealt. You got to work with these kids, and they started to come on. And you're right, a lot of misses here and there. Where a lot of them were the receivers, if you really look at the routes.
Right.
But you look at it. You got Lazard and Corey Davis. You got guys coming out of
Garrett
Wilson,
Wilson, Nicole Hardman.
Yeah, I mean, you got weapons.
They
now.
got players.
Yeah, and I think for all of us guys, it's okay. Here it is, Aaron. Go make it happen because you're expected to make it happen.
Hey, we'll move our plays of the week from Valley Chevy later in the show, but join us tomorrow at El Bandito Tequila at Barrio Queen. We'll be there from 1 to 4 at the Tempe Marketplace location. We encourage you to stop by and have some incredible, authentic Mexican food and try the new El Bandito Yankee Tequila. That's tomorrow live from Barrio Queen in Tempe. So, Suns hope to close it all out. Game 5, we're going to catch up with Tim Kempton, the Suns radio analyst, get his thoughts in Game 4, and then look ahead to tomorrow. We're live at the CAC Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.